So what happened to me is I attended the premiere of Lady Ballers this week, and there was an after party. And it was a star-studded event. You know, Ben Shapiro was there, Michael Knowles. Now, all right, there were no stars, but it was still a lot of fun. And the music was loud. I already had a cold, and so I'm shouting over it, talking to the people I want to talk to, and I just lost my voice entirely. But let's take a look at, you know what the story is about. This is about a team that can't win, a basketball team that can't win. They decided to make a comeback by declaring that they identify as women and taking on the women's teams. And here's a little bit of the trailer.
If you can beat them.
What do you know about the U.S. Opens for the Global Games?
You want us to compete as women. $5,000 prizes.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
Join them.
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it. So a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice!
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes.
Coach, Alex, we could play basketball.
So the film features all the Daily Wire people. Crane and Company are great. You know, they were really good, all of them. Knowles is good. Jeremy had to build an entire company so he could get a part in a movie. But there were actually some talented people there. And here's some things that really interested me, because I even before I saw this movie, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean, even before I saw it, I thought, this matters. This is an important thing, that they're doing a funny movie. It's a silly sports comedy like Dodgeball or something like that from back in the day, you know. And they're doing this movie, and it's important because it's a movie that no one else will do. You can tell this because the trailer comes out. It's about 3 minutes long, and already some lefties spend half an hour reviewing the film just after watching a 3-minute trailer. So they spent 10 times as long as the trailer is, reviewing a film they had never seen. It's not like they came out and said, oh, I object to this idea. They said, it's a terrible film because I watched this 3-minute trailer. So I picked one out at random. It's called something like The Humanist Report. And I will say one thing in his favor. This is cut 21. At least he gave me credit, because I do have a cameo in the film. So at least he mentioned me by name as cut 21.
This movie features cameos from Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro's female doppelganger Brett Cooper, and Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh in drag, the old guy from the Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, the CEO of the Daily Wire, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, and even Riley Gaines.
So the old guy from the So you know who else is old? God. That's right. That's right. So guess who you're insulting? And you never see the two of us at the same time. Think about that. All right, here's his attack on the trailer, cut 3.
This is supposedly a bold, edgy comedy that's never been attempted before because Hollywood is too afraid. So Jeremy Boring tweeted this out. Hollywood won't make a movie about how laughably absurd it is that we now allow grown men to call themselves women and then dominate women's sports. So we did. Except that's not true at all. Parker Malloy provided multiple examples of other movies that have attempted this, and this movie in particular is basically a transphobic ripoff of Joanna Man, which is about a professional basketball player who dresses up as a woman and joins the women's team after he gets dropped from the men's team. And it was not good at the time because once the absurdity of man pretends to be woman wears off, you kind of get bored, so you need different jokes to keep it entertaining.
Okay, so the problem with the film, he says, without ever having watched the film, is that after the absurdity, the utter absurdity, the complete ridiculous absurdity of men declaring themselves to be women in order to win at sports, the jokes run out. But that's not entirely fair, because there's the added joke of the fact that even though this is incredibly absurd, as he himself admits, it's just utterly absurd that a man would dress up as a woman and declare he's a woman and then win all the sports. That's just so absurd. Is people taking that seriously? So, for instance, Ted Cruz, Newsweek had a headline, Ted Cruz stars in the picture. I'm not entirely sure he was the star. I mean, Senator Ted Cruz is always a star to us, but still, he does have a good part, and he's really good. He plays a senator questioning a gay activist, and he does it totally. This scene totally deadpan. This is a senator questioning a gay activist in Congress. Is cut 4.
I'm asking a question. Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of the conversation that we're having. I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is that a yes? So I'm trying to get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech. Is there a difference between women and men?
I think that there are definitions for biological sex.
Okay, so you're
which
not
is
answering
different
that.
than
Let me
gender.
ask you this question then. Why do women's sports exist?
So he's good, right? He seems really lifelike, very realistic, good performance. And what's funny about it, of course, is that it's utterly deadpan, that this woman cannot answer the question, is there a difference between men and women? The one true black and white binary in nature, there's the difference between men and women. Very rare that there's an absolute binary. This is an absolute binary. Even that some people are born intersex doesn't matter, because some people are born with one leg, but man is still a two-legged creature. Man is still a creature binarily divided into men and women who can't cross over. So it's funny that the thing that makes the film funny is that we're taking it seriously. There's another film like that, another scene like that, where ESPN, basically, ABC, ESPN, does an interview with a guy, this muscular, big, strong, muscular guy is pretending to be a female swimmer and winning all the events. They call him Leah Thomas or something. And again, what's funny about it is they try to take it seriously. It's cut 5.
After following NCAA guidelines of a year of hormone therapy to change gender categories, Thomas started her senior year on the women's team. But her success in the water was met with outrage leading up to the NCAA championships. Her critics say she jumped in the rankings between the men's and the women's team.
And there are some who look at the data and suggest that you're enjoying a competitive advantage. What do you say to that?
There's a lot of factors that go into a race and how well you do. And the biggest change for me is that I'm happy.
See, I'm sorry, but that's just funny stuff. He's going to ruin every other female's sporting career. All their work goes down the drain. All their competitive instincts are thwarted because he's this big, tall man pretending to be a girl. But he's happy. He's happy. It's funny that they're taking that seriously, that they're even putting him on TV instead of out in the street where he belongs. That's just funny. Now, of course, I'm kidding around. Those aren't scenes from the film. Those are scenes from real life. And those are the scenes, because they're taking this absurdity, as the humanist himself says, the absurdity of a man dressing up as a woman and playing women's sports, because they're taking it seriously, it's funny. But because they don't want it to be funny, they want it to be real, they can't let us laugh, right? And look, they're serious about this. They are serious. The Biden Department of Health and Human Services, which is where Richard Levine, who calls himself Rachel, is playing an admiral. That's where Richard Levine is ever since he escaped from Arkham Asylum. They're now proposing a rule that you can't have foster kids if you don't promise to affirm their gender identity. So let me explain why this film actually matters. I'm going to tell you some behind-the-scenes stuff at the Daily Wire, stuff about that's gone on here, and you will understand where we're coming from. All right, gather around, my friends. I've got a holiday gift idea that's sure to make you the hero of the season. We all know the holidays can be a bit hectic. The shopping, the cooking, the eating, for me, the never-ending list of things to do. But fear not, because I've discovered a gift that's not just thoughtful, it's downright transformative, the gift of Genucel skincare. From now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package has a special discount just for my listeners at Genucel.com/Klavan. Treat yourself and your loved ones to the absolute best skincare in the world. Those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, and yes, even a sagging jawline will disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. Genucel promises immediate effects. You'll see results in less than 12 hours guaranteed, or your money back. My producer, Lisa, loves Genucel, and we love Lisa. She is probably one of every single product they have. She's always raving about the under-eye cream and how there is nothing like it on the market. You deserve to look and feel your best this holiday season. Go to Genucel.com/KlavanYT to get this incredible holiday discount. Every order today is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. That's Genucel.com/KlavanYT today. The left hates laughter because laughter calls out absurdity. That's what it's for, right? Laughter intrinsically states that there is a reality to life and a morality to life, and you can talk yourself out of those things, but then you become absurd, you become laughable. And since the left is pushing this toxic fantasy, they hate that. They hate it when we laugh at them, and they have made it so you can't make movies like this anymore. Yeah, it's true. They made them back in the day before the left became woke, before it became utterly absurd, when they were just wrong. That was before they knew they were wrong and had to become absurd in order to back their being wrong. But you can't do it anymore. You can't make the Wedding Crashers because it's about seducing women at weddings. You can't make White Chicks, which is about cross-dressing as well. You can't make any of this. But the main point is that up till now, we have played along. When we started with the guys who are now the Daily Wire, when we started, I made a video, and I've told this story before, it's not like a big secret, but I made a video about abortion. You can find it on YouTube. It's called The Devil at Planned Parenthood. And Jeremy and I worked very hard on this to make it look really great. And when it came out, our backers said, you can't put that out there. And they had to remove the company name from the thing and put it out under my name alone, so it didn't do as well as it would have done if it had the company promoting it. Now we laugh about that today. You know, Jeremy will come in here, and Caleb and Ben, they'll come in here and tell you, we laugh about that today because it's now the standard by which we judge other things. Is this as good as the abortion thing? We put out a book of mine called The Lefties Dictionary. You can't find it. I think there are like 3 or 4 copies available used on Amazon, but it's out of print because they got frightened. And again, I'm not saying anything that they wouldn't admit to. I'm not saying this behind their backs. They wanted to buy back copies because when they saw what was in the book, I made jokes about the N-word. I made jokes about, women and blacks and all this stuff. They thought like, let it, we're going to get nailed for this, right? We're going to be destroyed. Our company's going to be destroyed. The book is now hard to find. I'm old. I'm from the 60s. I'm a radical. I'll say anything I please. But a generation came up after me that was legitimately afraid. They're legitimately afraid, and people are still afraid to say the things that they want to say. At the premiere, Jeremy gave a little speech at the end of the show, and he had told me this before, he talked about actors who call him up all the time, and they call me up too, by the way, writers and actors, and beg to be part of the Daily Wire. Put us in your next show. Put us in your next show. He showed them the script, and they said, oh, no, not that, not that. Utterly absurd, supposed to be serious. People are still afraid. And listen, I have conservative friends in Hollywood, really conservative, a lot of them, as many as there are, I know them. They sometimes call me up and diss Jeremy. And they say, well, he does this, he does that. And I say, yeah, but you guys won't speak up. He does. He's not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person. You're not. But he's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. But everybody feels they have to suck up to the power. Why? Why is it? This has been my attitude from the start. We can't let the moral borders be set by the killers of babies. I will not take moral instruction or moral insults from people who kill babies in the womb. That's not the way it works. If you are a moral person and you object to me, I will listen to you and I will question my own actions. If you are somebody who believes in killing babies up to the moments of birth, let alone at all, you have nothing to say to me. How did they get control of the narrative? It makes me nuts, right? It makes me nuts that anybody should tremble at the moral approbation, the moral insults of the killers of babies. How can we let our speech be limited by the sexual butchers of children? It doesn't make any sense. So when you see Lady Ballers, and I hope everybody will watch it, everybody who subscribes to the Daily Wire, I think you have to subscribe to Daily Wire Plus to get it, but you should anyway. When you see Lady Ballers, I hope you understand that things have changed. Things are changing. This is a major blow. You can watch the show and laugh. I hope you do. I did. I laughed a bunch of times. You can watch it and hate it. You can say, oh, nah, this isn't any good. But it's done. It is done. It's the very beginning. For even greater Klavanness, like and subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you listen to podcasts.